Alright guys, we had a just insane day today across the board with most of the stocks I've talked about, but I want to really focus on Sava stock. That's Sava, Cassava Sciences, and it just rallied. We went crazy on this one. I'm going to go over the charts. I'm going to get into tip ranks and see what the analysts think, and I'm also going to go over a couple of articles, possibly the reason that it ran up. It was kind of hard to see why, but anyways, let's get into this one. Alrighty folks, now we've got four ratings as a strong buy, all four saying buy. We've got 159.25 price target, which gives us 174% upside, a high of 215. That average, like I said, 159, and then a low of 108. Now looking at the analysts, we've got some pretty good analysts here. I would probably ignore the 4-star, but those 5-star analysts are all giving us 100 and up for a price target, which I like the sound of that. Although a few are a little bit longer ago, so I'm not sure how much weight they still have or if they still agree with that current price. But regardless, we have one that was 2 months ago with a $215 target. And of course that 4-star is last month. So that is the most recent. But, there's potential upside here, and then the analysts agree. And like always, guys, I will leave links in the description so you can go look at it yourself. But we did have an article that was published today, and it basically just talks about their cash. The census here was that this company here is kind of talking about them in a bullish way. So this might be why we ran up so much. I think a lot of people are just piling in based on that FDA trial. The huge potential this has if they are successful. This is actually one of the Alzheimer's drugs that is in fact improving Alzheimer's conditions instead of these other Alzheimer's drugs where they basically just try to make it less severe. This one actually shows a turnaround and an improvement in cognitive ability. So that's very interesting here. They do go over that they're not too worried about Cassava Science's cash burn, and they also say that the burn equates to about 0.6 in its market value. So this article is kind of putting them in a bullish light. This could be why this thing just rallied like it did. We also did have this article today, November 2 as well, and this is as the time of recording, of course. So this is according to Investor Places contributor Larry Raymer. He said that the stock could easily rise much higher, and I bet you this is probably why we had a nice rally. He recently argued that Sava stock was undervalued, and according to his calculations, could rise by as much as 200% if it received the FDA approval. And a contributor, Thomas Neal, also urged investors to buy shares on a dip ahead of the end of the phase 3 trial. And then over here, they kind of just go over everything, based in Austin, Texas. See, and this one is actually a different style. Instead of clearing the brain of an amyloid, an abnormal protein, they rather focus on the stabilization of filament A scaffolding protein. And now this is beyond me. This is above, I'm not no doctor, so I don't really understand any of this. But I think it's interesting that they're going at a different approach here on this. And they are working with the National Institute of Health to work together and, figure out this Alzheimer's disease and try to help the world out. And another thing that makes me bullish on this one is that Cassava's management actually has, I looked at their management team, they have experience at Pfizer, they have experience in Johnson & Johnson, there's other ones as well, but those were the main ones that stuck out to me, and they've actually, together, the management team at Cassava has achieved 12 FDA drug approvals before entering their current roles. So there aren't currently any, they didn't do this under Cassava. They did this while they were either at Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, all the other ones that they worked with. But that's something that definitely makes me bullish to see that they kind of know how the process works. So that's kind of good news there. But this could be the run-up, just some more coverage lately and people kind of getting into it and seeing that potential, that kind of pile in as FDA trial potentially reaches success. Now, finally, I want to go into the chart and the nice rise we had. We were stair-stepping during the day. And, you'll see that pattern here. We kept stair-stepping. And if you look at the RSI, overbought, back down, overbought, back down. And these correlate like right along with it, okay? So every time those day traders noticed that it was overbought, they'd jump out, maybe jump back in with some calls or something, jump back out, and just ride that momentum. I did get out of this right, not at the very top, right when I started seeing this red just continue. I probably got right out about around here somewhere. My goal isn't to hit the very bottom and hit the very top. My goal is to make a profit, and we did that today. I did sell about 25% of my position, but I will potentially be buying more. I think that 55 is going to be our floor. I could be wrong, of course, but on that first run up, we did kind of hit resistance and seemed to kind of consolidate, and then we bounced. And now we seem to be consolidating a little bit above it here. Keep an eye on it for consolidation, and if it continues to do that, I'll be loading up in the 55s and under. But I'm not going to get over leveraged in this one because it does totally depend on that FDA trial happening and getting approved. Now, if it doesn't, this is going to drop, could potentially see the 30s, maybe the 40s, but just be careful out there. Don't go all in on this. I'm personally not going to do that. That 25% of my position that I took out today, I will probably be looking to get back in if I can get it under 55, around that 55 level. And that's just how I'll be playing that one. Now, I did do a previous video on this one. I believe it was like the 10th. And it was like right after that, we had a nice little bump, but then it just dropped. And I was kind of loading up around here. I bought, after I did that video, a couple days after I did buy, and then I bought again down here somewhere, but I did definitely take some profits. When you see something like what we just saw, when you see this kind of thing, I mean, it's not sustainable unless that FDA trial was in fact approved, or, something like that. We would have definitely seen this just keep rallying, but, there's still that phase 4 trial we have to complete. I'm very excited if they can actually help people that have Alzheimer's. This is actually the 6th leading cause of death in the US, I believe. So definitely, if they can do that, that'll just be a great thing for people. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Cassava. Do you guys have a position? Are you thinking about getting in? What's your price point to buy in, and what's your price target to sell? Me currently, I'm just kind of looking to swing it here and there. I'm not going to hold this necessarily long term, but I might hold a portion for the long term, but majority I'm going to just kind of swing trade this, and I will take my money when it's on the table, and I will buy when I'm under my cost basis, and that's just how I'm going to be playing this one. But let me know how you guys are doing it in the comments below. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.